Hello guys, it's Bia Yuri here. I'm gonna save this video, so if you want to watch this later, it's gonna be here saved for you guys. And today I want to tap in the topic of manifesting love, the best tips for manifesting love. We receive a lot of questions of people asking, can I manifest a specific person, and things like that. Guys, forget about the freaking specific person. I've said this before. When you are so focused on manifesting a specific person, you are operating out of lack, because you put that person on a pedestal and that person is a way higher than you, and you put yourself, peace and love to you all, you put yourself in a lower position. So you forget about this idea of specific person. You have to work on yourself first so you become magnetic. And that's what people say, the law of attraction. That's what actually means. Your magnetism increases so much that the other people don't matter, because you are the point of attraction. So when you understand that concept, you're going to stop wanting to try to manifest a specific person, because you're going to work on yourself. And it's funny because we've been receiving a lot of messages of people that have been going through relationship issues where they only attract the same type of man, and that man is always abusive or toxic, narcissist. Why am I only attracting this kind of people in my life? Or why, like I go on dates and nothing is working out for me. I only go on the wrong dates. When we create awareness, we start to understand that these people are only showing parts within us that needs healing. Everybody that is in our reality just show us everything that's inside of us. And I know a lot of people is gonna get confused. They're gonna say, how am I even wanting to manifest in a narcissist? How am I even gonna want to manifest a toxic relationship for myself? Consciously, none of us want that type of relationship, right? Unless we were crazy. We don't want to suffer abuse. We don't want to suffer in a narcissistic relationship. So why are we getting involved with this kind of people? That's because we are trauma bonding with these people. There are parts of us that matches, unhealed parts of us that matches parts of these people, that validates what we experienced on our childhood. So let's say in our childhood your care was very like you experienced neglect, you experienced your parents were unpredictable. Anything that you would do, they would just snap. You didn't really feel safe, or you suffer abuse. Some people suffer sexual abuse or physical abuse or verbal abuse, any sort of abuse. Then you're gonna seek that familiarity in your relationships, because that's how our subconscious mind works. It always wants to seek for safety, even though that safety is not the best thing for us. Even though that safety causes us pain, our mind will always try to keep ourselves into, hi Chris, she's not here today, guys. So our mind will always try to keep ourselves on that familiar hell. That's that quote that I love the most, is like our mind would always prefer to keep us on a familiar hell than an unfamiliar heaven. And that's what you guys need to understand. You will always keep repeating the same patterns over and over and over again until you are aware of these patterns and you let go of them. I was talking to a friend the other day, and she was telling me how she was going to wrong dates and this and that. And I told her, I was like, delete those apps from your phone. You're going to forget about those apps, and you're just going to work on yourself, because if you don't address those patterns, you're gonna you're gonna just attract the same type of dynamics into your adult life. You're just gonna, I can guarantee, you're gonna keep attracting the same type of people. And I know some people are gonna say, I didn't suffer any abuse growing up. I didn't, my parents never hit me or abused me. They were very kind and loving. But maybe it didn't come from my parents. Maybe it came from, your school, the caregivers. Or maybe your parents were very kind and loving, but they were always absent because they were always working. Or they were always stressed out, and or they were suffering a illness, and you didn't want to stress them out, so you just kept everything for yourself, kept all your emotions to yourself. And it's funny how the smallest little things can set us for failure in our relationship, right? Like, for example, the sleep training. I respect every mom that does it because, as moms, we know that we are, at the end of the day, we are exhausted. We are just trying to survive because, especially in the beginning, when the kids need so much of our care and we are literally their food, like we are breastfeeding, and we have to wake up in the middle of the night and take care, change diapers. They require so much of us. And I don't blame anybody that does sleep training because at the end of the day, we're trying to survive. We need our hours of sleep. But like when that baby is sleeping and it's crying throughout the night, do you know why it works? Because the baby understands that when they cry, nobody is going to come for them. That no matter how loud and how much they cry, they are not worthy of receiving that care and attention. So then they just learn to self-soothe. And then when they become adults, what are they going to seek? People that are unavailable for them. You can look up at the research. I'm not making this up. But it's like the smallest little things that even though your mom might be the most loving creature on this earth, but maybe she did the sleep training and that trigger into your subconscious mind something that's negative. And that's why we need to learn how to address those patterns so we can stop attracting the same type of relationship dynamics. And a big part of that is learning how to regulate our nervous system. Because when we regulate our nervous system, like let's say when you were a kid, you were always, stepping on eggshells. Then your nervous system, or like your parents did the timeout, or they yelled at you, they spanked you, that triggered your ability to not be able to regulate yourself. So your nervous system can't regulate. You cannot regulate your nervous system. So when things pop up on your 3D reality, you can't auto-regulate yourself. And you're always chronically stressed. When we are chronically stressed, when we're always on survival mode, we can't freaking create the reality that we want. Because if you're always on survival, we are trying to survive. When we are always stressed, things are happening out around us. People are doing bad things to us, and we are always responding to the environment, to that person. We don't have the energy to create the life that we want. We are always responding. We are always the victim, trying to catch up with life. And that's why people get stressed, get burnout, get anxiety attack, depression, because we are not being able to unstuck ourselves from that nervous system. And it's okay to feel the negative emotions, right? It's okay to feel sad, depressed, anxious, because those are feelings that we are meant to feel those feelings. We are human beings. It's part of our physical existence. But the problem is when those feelings, those emotions become an identity. When the negative emotions become our identity, that's an issue. Because then for sure, we're going to broadcast more of the same, more things that are on that same vibrational match. So manifestation goes away beyond of just doing one technique, because you have to break the pattern of your old self, of those unconscious patterns that are sabotaging you. That's the only way you can do that. And like, for example, when in the past I dated a narcissistic person, and when you are dating narcissistic person, there could be so many reasons why. It's not because you're a bad person, it's not because this and that and that, it's just because parts of you was bonding with that person. So for example, you always growing up you were the people pleaser. We're always trying to please the other person, always trying to make the other person, you're trying to receive love from that person by people pleasing from your parents, because that's the only way they would show you some sort of affection. Then you're gonna attract same type of people, unavailable people, that you're always trying to please them in order to feel some sort of love. You're always trying to control your environment to feel that response. And that's a big issue, because we are not creating our reality based on our highest self. We are creating our reality based on our wounded self. And we are always gonna have issues with our relationships. It's going to be a pattern, and you think there's something wrong with you, and you start to get depressed because you go on social media and everybody's manifesting love and everybody's happy with their relationship and everybody this and that, and only you cannot manifest a good person, the good people. Why is that? Because you didn't address those patterns that are on your subconscious mind, and you keep experiencing the same reality. As within, so without. Everything externally is just a reflection of everything that you have inside. So when you change inside, when you expand your consciousness and you understand and you're aware and you stop blaming other people, oh, they don't, that, my husband doesn't treat me well, my boyfriend doesn't treat me well, he's abusive, he's toxic. That tells you more about you than about them, because when you change, you're gonna stop attracting this type of people, because you're no longer gonna be a vibrational match with them. So if anything, you gotta look at yourself. So when this type of dynamics happen in your life, look at yourself, look inwards. When you're trying to manifest love for a long time, first thing is you cannot want to manifest love, because if you want, it means you don't have it. You have to love yourself first, so you become magnetic. So your energy is magnetic. So you become the point of attraction, and you don't have to want love, because you are the love, and other people are just going to be drawn to your energy. That's what you got to understand. That's why this manifest a specific person shit doesn't work. It works, yeah, you could, if that person is in resonance with your energy, but it's a waste of time, because you're operating out of lack. So you're not gonna attract, out of billions of people in this world, you're really gonna focus on one person. When you truly understand how magnetic you are, your true value, when you operate from your highest self, then you stop running, chasing, and you stop attracting. That's the whole meaning of law of attraction, law of assumption. All these things is that you become the point of attraction, because your energy is magnetic. You are not operating out of your wounded self. You're operating out of your highest self. And to be able to operate out of our highest self, we need to feel safe and secure within ourselves. Because if we don't feel safe and secure within ourselves to express our emotions, to be ourselves, we're never going to be ourselves. We're always going to show parts of ourselves depending to the people that we are with, right? We are with our friends, we act a certain way, and then when we get home, we act a different way, because we want to always fit in and make other people love us, but by showing certain parts of us and masking our shadows. We need to love ourselves with our own faults, and when we do that, it's just we become magnetic. And that's the whole point that I want you guys to understand, is that you have to stop focusing so much on externally, focusing so much on trying to manifest love, focusing on so much on trying to get your ex back, trying to make your husband change, trying to make your boyfriend treat you differently, trying to this and that. Work on yourself, work on your energy, work on becoming a freaking high vibrational person. Your energy is so magnetic. You are magnetic. You know, if other people don't want to, it's like they don't see your value. That's bad for them, not for you. That's how you have to show up. Like when you go on dates, like, right, you're single, you're trying to go on dates. You don't go on dates like thinking about, oh, how I'm gonna dress. Do you think he's gonna like this dress or this one? Like, what should I say? No, you show up as yourself. And if they like you, good. If they don't know what they're missing. That's how you have to perceive yourself. And if you don't get to that point, you're always gonna struggle. You're always gonna manifest wounded people. We are all wounded, right? I don't think there is anybody that hasn't had a wound. Even on our childhood, you know, even if our parents are very loving and caring, nobody's perfect. So they as well might have made mistakes raising us, and that's okay. But we are the ones that are breaking that curse. We are breaking the traumas, and that's what it really means. We are taking back our power of co-creation, and we are getting back to ourselves. And I think that's the whole point of manifestation, is to go back inwards, so you recognize that power of creation that you have within you. But in order to have that power of creation within you, you have to feel safe within yourself. That's why yesterday I posted that one subconscious pattern that I reprogrammed within myself, and now I'm manifesting things like crazy, which is trust. Because when I trust myself, I know that no matter what, I'm gonna be okay. So if my husband leaves me, if my boyfriend cheats on me, oh my goodness, my English, cheats, it's not coming out right. You guys got it. If my boyfriend, fooled around with another person, it's okay, because I know my worth, I know my value, and I'm safe within myself. So no matter what other people do, no matter all their shit that they try to project on me, I am okay. And trust is the best thing that you can develop within yourself, because you always trust that the universe, that God, that the divine creator is always providing the best outcome for you, that everything is in alignment, that all the serendipities is always bringing you closer to your goal. And that trust state is a knowing state. That's what we call faith, is the knowing state that no matter what, you're gonna be okay. That no matter what, even if people treat you poorly, they're not a vibrational match to your higher self. They're gonna get out of your life, or they are gonna change by resonance, right? And that's what I want to tap into you guys today about this topic, because I see a lot of people struggling with relationships lately, like especially abuse from the husbands and boyfriends. Abuse, I think those are the two main issues nowadays, is abuse, toxic relationships, right? And not finding the right date, always going on dates and dates and dates. And that's the main reason. We have to always look within ourselves. Why are we bonding with this type of people? And we need to fix that within ourselves, tune into a different vibration, learn how to regulate ourselves, because our nervous system is the most important thing, guys, for manifestation, okay? And that's something we teach on the F. My English sometimes just doesn't work. FLR, future life regression. Because if we're chronically stressed, right, we have unmet needs and we are unable to feel safe, then we are always on survival mode. When we are always on survival mode, we don't have our energy for creation. We are always running away, perceiving danger, and we are always, right? So our nervous system, there are four ways that we can operate, which is the fight, the flight, the freeze, or the fawn. So sometimes, let's say your boyfriend, your husband did something bad to you, and then you fight. You like butt heads, right? Or sometimes someone did something to you and then you freeze. meaning you disconnect, you go inwards, and you disassociate because it's overwhelming, it's too much for you to keep up with. Or you fly, you run away, right? You don't want to deal with the issue. Or is the fall where you avoid conflict at all costs, which is the people pleasing. You put other people's needs like in front of yours. And if you don't learn how to regulate that, and it's okay, because throughout the day you're gonna, things are gonna pop up in your 3D reality that is gonna make you feel certain ways. And it's normal, because we are human beings, we are not robots. We have feelings. That's how we navigate throughout our days. We're always like feeling something, we're perceiving dangers, we feel a certain way. But the problem is that cannot be our identity. And that's what I told you guys. We need to learn how to regulate our nervous system along to reprogramming our subconscious mind. Because when you do that, then triggers are gonna come in your reality, but you are gonna be okay. And you're gonna be able to sustain your energy on a high frequency. And when you do that, that's when you manifest like crazy. Because at the end of the day is a average of your emotions throughout your day, which is your identity. Who are you being most part of your day? How are you feeling throughout your day? You can't freaking do meditation in the morning and then the rest of your day you're worrying, you're afraid, you're freaking out, you're stressed, and then you go at night and then you do another meditation and you go to sleep. It doesn't work that way, guys. You have to sustain that energy throughout your days, and it's okay. You don't want to repress your emotions. You don't want to not feel sad or depressed when something happens. You want to feel it, because if you put it under the rug, it's even worse. It's going to come out even worse at some point in your life. So we don't want you to do that. We want you to feel it. But that cannot become your identity, okay? So it doesn't help if you just do meditation in the morning and you do gratitude and whatever, and it's just like minority of your day. That vibration, that magnetic person needs to be your identity. People need to look at you like, man, that person, have you ever gone to like a place and that person is like so magnetic, the energy is so good to be around that person. That's who you need to become. And I can guarantee you don't need to worry about your husband leaving and cheating you. You don't need to worry about they treating you poorly and being toxic. You don't need to worry about any of that, because as within, so without. When you change yourself, your reality changes like magic. It is magic. People, I think they didn't want us to know the power that we truly have in our hands. And that's why, they never really teach us how to regulate ourselves. Here's some alcohol, here's some drugs, go do this, you're gonna feel good, right? That's what society tells us to do, to help us numb our traumas and things that we have to deal with. Here's some pills when you're feeling X, Y, and Z, instead of really learning how to feel safe within ourselves and connect with our higher self, and just trusting ourselves and trusting and aligning ourselves with the divine creator and knowing that everything is going to be okay no matter what. That's it, guys. I have to go now and pick up my kids, but I just wanted to pop up really quick and just share this with you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are suffering on abusive relationships, and we need to break this cycle. We need to stop wanting so much and putting other people on a pedestal and just work on yourself. I can guarantee that everything is going to transform in your life. Don't forget to like this video, comment below if this was helpful, and share it with a friend to help spread awareness. All right, aloha, guys.